Focus. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. I apologize for the audio. They are straight up doing fucking construction outside. So if you hear these banging, that's completely what it is. You hear it? Alright, I know it's been a while. I'm going to be shifting the focus of this channel to in a different direction of just my honest thoughts and rants on certain subjects. I feel like every time I try to plan something before, it felt very disingenuous and it wasn't really that interesting in my opinion. I feel like if I go off the top of my head, it just kind of works out and it's authentic and genuine. I hope it's interesting. Today, we'll be talking about self-love and confidence and my experience with it. It's such a weird concept that I've recently fell in love with and started to learn to love myself again, which has led me to developing my confidence. It's so strange. I think one thing I was just honestly thinking about is, why the fuck do we hang out with people or let people in our lives who put us down, who only increase these thoughts of negativity? It's like a negative feedback loop. And like, why is that normal that we hang out with like toxic / bad people? Like, I don't know if it's just me, but it's like, fucking, I look back and even now I was like, wait, why do I let you in my life? Like even something simple as them following me on Instagram or Facebook, I'm like, I can tell you're judging me and I'd rather have you just not in my life. And it's just so strange how this just became normal in this day and age, which has really affected all of us, all of our self-esteem. You know, we are measured against our peers. You are constantly being compared on social media, at the workplace, even on LinkedIn. It's just a circle jerk of who is better than the other. And I think most recently, I would say about a month, ever since my trip to New York, things have started to change. And I'm so thankful for that opportunity. Because I would say up until 4 weeks ago, self-love was something that was absent in my life. As a guy, I admit it, it was not pretty. And I know on this channel, you can probably tell I was going through some shit. And this is just my YouTube channel, right? I don't want to pretend who I am. I want to show you my honest life and be vulnerable. Because I feel like wherever I go in my daily life, you have to put on this act, this persona. You have to act macho. You have to act a certain fucking way. But this is why it's called bedroom talks. I'm literally in my bedroom, the place where I can be the most vulnerable. But in short, I went to New York 4 weeks ago, and that was a phenomenal time. Two of my best friends joined me, and maybe it was just a weird experience, right? It was almost like I needed some closure in my heart, and I feel like New York was a place to get that. For the longest time, I've had a recent breakup, like really fuck me up. Like, and it's so strange. I hate talking about it, but it was like really dramatic / traumatic. You mean if you wake up in the middle of the night at 2 a.m. having like sweated your bed, freaking out, like having a full-blown anxiety attack because the person who you love comes in your dreams and fucks you up, it's not okay. It ruins your day and morning. So, I decided to go to New York. That was where my ex actually moved. And I didn't go to New York specifically for her. I live in DC, Chevy Chase, Maryland, pretty much the same thing. And I was like, I might as well go to New York because then I have a couple buddies that live there. Some childhood friends live in Brooklyn. So it was a really cool time to just see them. And even like some in Manhattan and East Village. Really phenomenal time. It's really fucking cold. But, you know, I went out, had a solid time, did a lot of walking, talking, eating, and drinking. But it's also a part of me was like, I never got the closure I needed from my ex. So I kind of was like, hey, I'm actually in town for this weekend. Let me know if you want to get coffee. And it was pretty much like, fuck off. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, you're the one who broke my fucking heart. And you're still immature about it. And you can't just own up to whatever things you've done. I'm not going to lie. I'm not perfect. I am far from perfect. I have my flaws. But in a relationship where someone doesn't even admit or even realize that they're also part of the problem, I don't even know. I would say I handled it pretty well. I was never fucking like evil or did anything with evil intentions or was malice. I was just myself. And I was just trying to get some closure because the way it ended was she sent me a fucking text or called me, I think during the pandemic, just saying, hey, it's over. I just wanted to see her in person and be like, hey, like, I'm so thankful that you broke up with me because I have grown tremendously more than I've ever imagined. And just to see that face to face and be like, hey, like, I'm letting this go. I'm letting you go. And I'm letting you know that, like, we have our faults and flaws, but I just want to be like, hey, we're good. Wish you the best. Don't want to get back together. But I just wanted to get that in-person closure. Yeah, getting a fuck off and a ghost, I'm like, really? Okay, cool. But I realized that is closure in some form. Silence is an answer. So I think, this is so fucking crazy. that just really showed maturity levels, and I am so thankful the way the things ended. Like, if you are with someone, you can't just look me dead in the fucking eye and just be like, hey, this is what's up. I'm like, cool, but whatever. So on the way back, it was super strange. I was like flying over DC, and it was like the sun was setting. You see all like the monuments. I actually saw my apartment from the airplane. Super cool. And I just started crying. I just realized, like, it is time to live my life. It is time to be myself again. It is time to move on. And I'm letting myself heal and learning to love myself in the process. Even as a guy, like, it's just so weird because you have to put all these macho acts, act confident and courageous at times, but just being vulnerable and realizing I just wasn't ready. I think that was the number one thing, was I was straight up in denial, and I just realized, for me, it's like there are worse things that could happen. Like, someone could fucking die in your family, or like way bigger shit. But I realized, oh, it's just a breakup. It's not a big deal. I should be able to move on just like that. Just move on, bro. Move on. And I think because it wasn't that big of a deal, it just like snuck beneath my consciousness and just like really messed a lot of things up. So I think by bringing it to the surface and being present with it and realizing, like, hey, I'm grieving, but it's time to move on. She would want me to move on. And then it came to the relation that my friends and family and loved ones, and even myself deep down, realized it was time for me to move on and start to loving myself and start feeling myself again. So I'm actually super thankful for everything, because it really puts things in perspective. Strange how that works. But I'll tell you, yeah, like for about a year and a half, I haven't really been living. I've been simply surviving. And I just realized something. I was like, whoa, like, I am my own worst enemy, and I put myself in this mental prison, and I want to let myself out, even though I had the keys in my back pocket the entire goddamn time. So I finally let myself out, and things have been so great. I'm so thankful, and it's like I wish I had the courage to just kind of live my life, but I realized that I was surrounding myself with the completely wrong people. I mean, think about it. Like, I thought I had social anxiety for the longest time, but I realized I think it's the people I'm hanging out with that's creating this social anxiety within me. Because true friends, people I've met, like, they just fucking support you. They want you to be yourself. And anything that's disingenuous, they'll call you out on it. But for the longest time, I was just anxious to say things because I was like, I might rub a couple people the wrong way. But I realized, wait, why do I surround myself with such negative people? It's almost like, do I think it's my right to suffer? And instead of realizing that it is my God-given right to be happy. Like, it is your fucking God-given right to be happy. And I'm just going to say this to whoever is watching, if you're anywhere in the world. I know probably what I'm saying doesn't have that much value to you, but it probably has more value in the sense that I want you to be happy. And I hope you choose to, because for the longest time I was suffering for so fucking long. And maybe your friends are putting you down, like, passively, or they're directly putting you down. Fuck that. Like, it's like, let them go. Let them go. It's better to be alone than in bad company. But the missing element was you have to go out and meet new people. And I've met some great fucking people lately, and it has made me so enthusiastic about life again that I realized, why was I like torturing myself with this really toxic people? Yeah, Max, I'm calling you out, toxic, but I'm letting it go. I'm so thankful for it because I've been able to learn and grow into who I am and realize there's certain things that I can't live without. That's just called being a genuine person and having integrity, right? It's like be like courageous about it. Let's have this difficult conversation eye to eye. And I just want honesty, right? And I look back because it's like, where have I been for the past year and a half? It's like I physically was here, but mentally I've been checked out. And I'm so sad at myself because I realize there's so many great opportunities I possibly missed. But I guess I'll say I'm making them back up now because I'm living my life again and I feel so happy. And like one of the longest times, I haven't felt this joyful in a very, very long time. And it's so nice to just wake up and be like, I'm fucking awesome. I love myself. And it's super cool to say that. I'm not saying every day is pretty and gorgeous. I still have my down days, right? But I just realized I could be a victim of my own mentality or be like, hey, it's totally okay. And treat myself as if I was looking out for someone I loved. and treating myself like my own best friend. And it's so cliche because you hear all this stuff all the time, but until you actually internalize it and apply it to your life, you see some pretty damn good results. So as always, I do wish you the best. When I say namaste, I do mean the best. And I hope you find some value from my honest rants and me being vulnerable. And if anyone I ever meet, / my friends actually watch this, maybe this is another layer of who I am that I was just afraid to show. So me just putting it out there is, hey, you know what? Like, I'm not perfect. I'm gonna be vulnerable. Yeah, I'll get some hate, but I wasted like a year and a half of my life just not doing anything, and it was such a shame. So I don't apologize for that. I simply am myself. And as always, namaste, and wish you the best.